Hi guys, it's Stacy. Welcome back. This is number 1 and 2. These are junk journals. They're, like I said, number 1 and 2 out of 50 of my 50 summer journal challenge. These are, you know, junk journal, smash book type things in the full sense. They're upcycled book covers. They have, you know, slightly different themes. They're almost the same size. They are 8.5 by 5.5, and they have about a 1 to almost 2-inch spine, 1 3/4. This one here was slightly bigger. It does have 4 signatures in it. This one has 5. This one has 4. And we'll jump right in here. This one has, well, they both do. I have all these little tabs, all kinds of cloth tabs, paper tabs. I've made paper clip charms and lots of clips there. Now these book covers are not perfect at all, but they are in really good condition. I've reinforced all inside. They're very sturdy and super fun. I had a lot of fun making these. This is what I enjoy the most, so I thought that I'd start with this style. Okay, inside cover and back cover are all vintage Encyclopedia books. I've done some collaging. I've used images from these old Encyclopedia books that I have. Here's a pocket right here. There's going to be tons of ephemera in here. My vision for these books is that everything is clipped in so that you can move it around and really junk it and make it your own. So these are vintage atlas pages. They've got a lot of natural aging to it. Done little collages here and there. I've included some Tomoe River paper. Writing paper, that's always nice to write on. These are envelopes that I made with my We Are Memories Keeper punch board. And there's one of the key charms. I'll show you what they look like before. This is kind of what I do before I decorate them. This has a Cavallini and Company stamp stickers on them, and I've used like Tim Holtz little stamps on them. So I've made quite a few of them for different journals. These are old ephemera I've gotten, you know, out of either stuff that I've collected, or this is a, whoops, I meant to say Cavallini sticker again. I think that's Paris, map of Paris. I've acquired some things from Saturday AM Vintage on Instagram. She sells a lot of vintage goodies, and I have purchased or actually got in on that a few times. So I've got lots of little things to add in these. This is some really awesome ledger paper. It's got a lot of natural aging as well. Now the coffee dyed papers in here, I haven't totally, like, they're not grungy, they're just lightly coffee stained. There's what do you call these, time cards. There's a pocket. I've done some collaging. Now here's some more. This is some ephemera from Saturday AM Vintage as well. Old postcard. This one's 1966, an old train ticket. This is a piece from the Encyclopedia that I've used other images from. A little collage with Tim Holtz stuff. Here's my Shamil Garden washi tape. I just want to go quick here. Lots of tabs with strings on it. There's that atlas page. This is journal prompts. This is Bow Bunny, I believe. There is some old stamps. Everything I've put in here, it gives you the ability to collage or junk it and make it your own. These are Tim Holtz stamps. I've added them to some tags. This is an old book page as well. What do you call this? Postal zip codes, really old book. Made great pocket. And I've added craft paper, coffee paper. This is an old foreman contract paper. Found it at a thrift store. Super neat. This is some really old ledger again. Different types of ledger, different textures of paper all through this book. There's some old book pages. This one kind of has like a a travel, library, science-y, history theme. Guest checks in there. And this is Tim Holtz ephemera as well. I've done some pages that flip out. There's some more goodies in here. There's an envelope ephemera, layaway tag. Here's a tag that I made, a library card. There's another one of those little key tags on it. Done some stickering. This is another envelope with another one of those key tags. This is a really old piece from an architecture book for house planning. Some tracing paper. Different texture. There's some ephemera here again. There's some more ledger paper that's a little bit different. Here's another envelope. We've got some goodies in here to play with. There's some old paper. This is a 7 Gypsies time card. Stick that in there. What was in here? Oh, this is all the ledger paper that I had cut off when I was making the pages, so I don't waste them. They go in there as note paper. There's an old book page. This one is bridges. It's kind of neat. There's another one of those tags stamped with Tim Holtz. A little collage here. So there's lots of, like even this is good for background. Already. There's another date too. These are stickers. They're naturally aged. They're, you know, I think they're from the 70s. I think the person that I got them from told me that. Here's some more ephemera here. This is a Cavallini and Company. It's a Tim Holtz pin. All these little bits move around, like I said, you can junk it and journal in it and make it your own. Add more tabs if you want. Here is some more of that ledger paper, atlas paper. This is vintage. It's got a tiny grid on it. It's really neat. I use it in almost all my journals. Here I did a collage, kind of started that for you, just to give you some ideas what we can do with your washi tape and your bits and pieces. Here's Tim Holtz ephemera. This is punctuation, English language, it says. These are 7 Gypsies cards. I've had so many of these things in my stash. It's time to, you know, get them in here and get using them. Old book pages. There is some more guest checks. This is a frame. You can actually stick a picture behind it. More tabs. This is from Saturday AM Vintage. There's some more little pieces, vintage pieces. There's the vintage paper from the Encyclopedia in the back. Alright, this one here, it's a little bit bigger. It's got a little bit more stuff in it. Lots of items in it. This one's got more of a botanical theme. This is Christie Art Designs. And these covers are in really good shape. This one here said essays and journals, and this one here said poems. I love the way they feel. These are great books. I've done the book page in the front and back as well. This is when I found botanical images. So yeah, this one's a little chunkier. It's got some collaging, and it's feminine up. Put some femininity into this one. I added some lace. I don't like a lot of frou-frou myself, but it's just enough. There's a pocket there. This is a printable from Polka Dot. I can't remember it fully, but I'll try and remember to link that in the description. These are old book pages from, I got this book here. This is 1970s Rocky Mountain flowers, wildflowers. I've pulled it apart and I've used the pages in here. This has got some ephemera in here. Everything in this book moves around to do things with. This here, I've been cutting up my old 6 or 8x8 or 6x6 pads and making tags out of them. Sometimes you don't know what to do with those size pads of scrapbook paper. They make good tags, so there's some guest checks in there. There's one of the, I've put some botanical images on this one and a stamp there. I forgot to show you the top there. This one's got lots of tabs and fabric as well. There's an old game piece. Some more. This one goes to that polka dot, I can't remember the Etsy shop. Little collage here, some vintage book pages. This is Edith Holden. This is some more of that ledger. I've added, here's some tracing paper here, Tomoe River pages again, more old ledger. I've done some botanical stamping. This is a piece, an 8x8, 7 Gypsies page. It had some really pretty color on it. It's literally, I just folded it. You could, it's just a perfect size if you were making a traveler's notebook. You could actually stick that in there. Make that a page if you wanted. Some more of that wildflower book. And I've decorated with some of my botanical washies. There's some bits and pieces in this pocket. This is 7 Gypsies. It's got some, you know, inspirational quotes, or on the back there's, you know, some gypsies you can use that have some sayings in there. Either side. These are, you could cut these up as well. Make tabs or tags with them. Here is a collage I did. This is Tsunami Rose and some Tim Holtz, and it went really nice with this page of botanical book page that I had. There's some more ephemera. Here's a little charm. Oops. I don't know if you can see that. It's like a little tree. Here's a vintage, these are those little vintage cards. They're pretty cute. Little, I don't know, I think they're from tea cards. I had that in there. Can't have a botanical book without at least a butterfly. There's some butterfly images there as well. Tracing paper. This is that old ledger paper that I just love. I pretty much put it in almost all my books as well. Edith Holden. Here's another little collage I did. This is Tim Holtz stuff and some of my Klasiki washi. Some more bits and pieces. There's an old railway ticket there. Some botanicals again. Just here's another little collage I did because this one had an extra signature in it. I was able to add a few more collages in it. There's some old. This is an old Encyclopedia page from the. Got a whole collection of them, so it's got some great images in it. This is 7 Gypsies paper. I love cutting off the file folders. I use the cover as a journal cover, and then I cut these and use them as tabs in other journals. There's another pocket there. This is a pocket, I love this print. It was off the backing of a packaging that had ephemera cards or journaling cards in it. Sometimes the packaging is just as pretty. Here's more of that form and contract paper. And some Tim Holtz vellum. This is a fabric washi. Lots of coffee paper. This is a Cavallini and Company sticker as well. There's some more of these little botanical I've added to these key tags. This is one of my favorite. That's pretty. Coffee paper, lots of this ledger. There's some butterfly vellum. This is another different kind of ledger here. It's red and blue. It's kind of good. This is a Tsunami Rose envelope. I've added some more book pages. There are, I think, yes, there's some more ephemera cards and tickets in there. There's some more of that tiny vintage ledger. Or no, grid paper, I'm sorry. I meant to say grid. I feel like I'm losing my voice. There's more ephemera in here. This envelope's attached. Grid, mini teeny weeny grid. It's so pretty. I put it in every one of my books until it's gone. This are some Edith Holden page and Tsunami Rose. I had it tucked in here. Here's some bits and pieces in here. Book page, some stickers. Done a little washi collage here. The sticker washi. On the back is some more little tags. I've stamped out some of my neat little botanical stamps. Sometimes you forget about using your stamps and I get using them. So what I did though for this here, I have all my Japanese stamps, botanical stamps. There's a whole bunch in there, but I've made them into stickers. So I stamped them out on like I don't know, it's like a scrapbook paper, light scrapbook paper that had sort of a light vintage writing, and I made stickers. So you could use them in other projects. It's scrapbook.com. I'll show you this here thing. I made stickers. I bought this. It's going to last me for a long time. And I make my stickers out of that. So then I just stamp them on paper, and then you stick it to that, and then once you cut them out, you've got, lots of little stickers. I've got more in here. I'll show you what they look like as a sheet. Some more of that vellum. Here is a tag, and this one has some little bits in it. I've also cut up some images from that Rocky Mountain Wildflowers book, and I backed it as well. So you can easily peel it off and stick it in your journal, just like the Cavallini and Company little mail stickers. There's some more vintage paper. Stick that in there. It's got some green matching sari silk. More little lace tabs there. More ephemera and another envelope. This is a really cool postcard. I don't know how old this is. It's very, very old. I don't even know where it is from. It doesn't have a date on it, but it hasn't been used. Edith Holden, and this, like here again, I've added that as a sticker. Here is some more canceled. They're all botanical stamps. They're canceled stamps. They're older, back when stamps were like 1 and 15 cents. Those pages. And there's lots of goodies in there as well. Oops, let me take a look here because I don't remember what I put in there. Yeah, there's more cards. Book page. Here's a 7 Gypsies card. And there's a few extra little bits in there for collaging. I'll pull everything out. Stick that over there. There's another pocket here. It's got a layaway tag. Some more pages from 7 Gypsies paper. This is an envelope I made from a Daphne's Diary magazine page. Some more ephemera. Little bits of ephemera from Tim Holtz, I think. These are 7 Gypsies. This was one of my favorite images of that kit. There's some more butterflies. And this is another 7 Gypsies. I don't know about you guys, but I love the 7 Gypsies stuff. It's really hard to come by. I think that's probably why I've hoarded it, but I've hoarded it long enough. I've got so much of it. One of the things I do when I'm journaling is I make these little bits that I'm going to start sending with my journals. So this one, for instance, we'll go with this one. Now I've sewn together bits of paper. There's coffee paper. I've stamped out some of my, you know, Japanese botanical stamps onto this muslin, and you could use it for other projects, but I've paper clipped everything here to all kinds of little bits of paper that you can use to collage. I usually put a bunch of these together and I put them in my little pencil case when I'm, you know, going out and I want little bits to sit and journal with and collage in my journals, in my traveler's notebook. Here's some more little stamping that I've done here. There's Daphne's diary pages. I've got Flow magazine paper, and just as I feel like it, I can rip off something and use it as a background or stamp on it or washi it. It's got like old book pages, grid paper, music paper. I've also got a collection of botanical washi tape. There's all kinds of it in here, and I just stick it to some wax paper so it's flat and then not bunched up. Now here's scrapbook.com. This is that double-sided sticker stuff, and what I did is I just made like a sticker sheet with my little Japanese. That's what they look like. There's a couple there. That's what they look like. I just stamped them out, and then I can cut them out when I need them. Just to do a little collage or journal page, whether it be in a book, you know, a journal, junk journal like this, or in my traveler's notebook. But it's always fun. So I'm going to start including a little bit of these with each journal purchase, because sometimes they're just handy to have, and getting them made up is like, you just throw them together, but it's the fact is having them ready for when you're journaling that's the key. So anyway, these are 1 and 2 of my challenge, and if anybody wants to join me, you can go over to Instagram at #50journalsummer and post your journals if you want to try doing 50 journals from June 1st to September 1st. All right, take care. Thanks so much. The link below if you are interested in one of these to my shop. Thank you very much for watching.